excited to see which one will end up being the victor. Since the games are pre-recorded, guys, we don't have much fluffing around to do, and so in fact we can just go ahead and just jump into the draft of what we saw yesterday between Crown of the Ruined King and Redemption.
One thing before we start, Redemption is actually playing with a substitute, and they have role swap.
I think
Brady
Crown of the
is
Ruined
playing
King
support.
is also playing with the substitute mid lane, I think.
Hmm.
So both teams, I think, have a substitute.
Okay. Well, that's gonna be interesting then.
Yeah.
Who can capitalize on playing with the sub best?
Indeed. So, coming into the game here, we do see that they are still respect banning the Ahri, but they are electing to go for the Jarvan first pick. Do you like the Jarvan first pick?
Not really.
I think it's a solid one, to be honest.
I think it's a fine first pick, but I don't think it's the best.
I think that Lunge really is looking for, not Lunge, of course, Darkshin rather, is really looking for these like early gang pathings. I think that he's been very effective when he does find his way into the lanes rather than just staying in his jungle trying to farm up, relying on his laners to play for him rather than playing for the laners. I think he is someone that is really like outgoing, that wants to make things happen on lane. So I don't mind the Jarvan first pick, and I do believe it's also very comfortable for the side of Redemption as well.
I mean, it's not like I think Jarvan is a bad champion at all. I just think there's like better champions to first pick, the Thresh, the Viego, the Sachao, stuff like these champions that are a bit more powerful. But I mean, normally I don't really know as much as you do about all of these teams. So I mean, if you're saying that CRK really loves to play around the laners instead of playing around the jungle, then I can see it working out perfectly. Since Jarvan is this heavy early game jungler that just wanna gank and gank and gank.
Now we do see the Echo coming in very early on into the draft, and yet another R2 rel. I think these R2 rels usually end up getting picked because you want to force things as a support. You're really trying to look for aggressive moves. And I think that Brady certainly is not someone who will sit behind and tolerate that, which is going to be answered then by the Lucian Nami combination that we see once again. We saw how good it actually, like, it seems really strong, I think.
Yeah, I think this is the strongest Lucian lane there is in the bot lane.
We're gonna have to find out how it actually matches up into Thresh of Phalios in the future, right? I think that will be very interesting. Yeah, I think because that's like the new kids on the block. Lucian Nami definitely stamping down, and I think it very much fits the identity that I see coming out from Crown of the Ruined King, where I do see that just League Things is a very aggressive AD carry, and then has his team peel around him. I think that Confi really likes the Enchanter supports, and now that we have the Nami and the Lucian, I think they both mesh really well, and I think that's a great bot lane to pick up for Crown of the Ruined King, and I'm excited to see if they can actually gain an advantage through that lane, especially since we do have a lot of switcheroo shenanigans down towards the boss side. That's going to be answered by the Samira. How do you feel about the Samira rel into the Lucian Nami specifically?
I mean, on the Samira, you can block a lot of Nami's things and Lucian's things as well with your W. Lucian and Nami aren't known for like high range, so that's also something that Samira likes. And I don't, and it's not like Nami got like a Leona Q stun. She has to hit Q or ultimate to actually block the Samira ulti. So I think it's actually pretty fine. I'm not sure how it will interact in lane. I think it's based on how Rel will play the lane.
Yeah. Especially because they don't really have many ways of stopping the rel pre-level 6. So the rel, like interrupting a rel W, it can certainly be a tool to actually counter the realm. What I do like is the way that Lucian and Samira interact. I think is very favorable for the Lucian, because I think that Samira is someone that likes these like heavy all-in trades, and Lucian doesn't really give that. Lucian always has his escape tools. He always like weaves in an auto attack, weaves in a Q, weaves in a double shot, and then he gets back out. He's a harassing laner rather than someone that was always going to fully commit. But the rel, yeah, I think what you're saying here is certainly very true. Now we do see that Redemption picks up the Mordekaiser here. I do know that Honos is a big Mordekaiser enjoyer. I find it interesting as a blind pick, but I do believe that is because the Ornn and the Set have been banned here. I think the Camille would be a fantastic answer, but they choose to go for the Urgot. Do you know much about the Mordekaiser-Urgot matchup?
Not at all.
Okay.
I could imagine Mordekaiser win.
It's once
Actually,
again pretty flippy. Because
yeah, I think
Mordekaiser.
maybe whoever gets the early lead
Mhm.
wins.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Urgot does have the extreme level 1 advantage, but then throughout the lane there is certainly a lot of pressure in favor of the Mordekaiser. However, the Urgot can certainly look to scale up, and if he does get to scale up freely, then the Urgot can run into a lot of issues. An interesting interaction is that when both ults are combined, like let's say the Urgot sees a low health target, he ults it, it's about to go into the meat grinder. Even if it's pulled back, Mordekaiser R's the Urgot, and the target will live no matter what. So that's very interesting, especially because the Mordekaiser R is a lot longer than the duration of the Urgot ultimate.
The thing I just realized is that they actually picked up the Kiana, but Kiana is disabled at the moment.
Oh, interesting. That was not reported, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do you like what do you think about the Ryze Kiana matchup though?
I mean, it could also be Kiana jungle, as far as we know right now.
Truth. Very true. Kiana jungle is certainly a possibility.
Which, I mean, Kiana jungle is kind of like the Jarvan. You just perma gank early game. You don't really sit in your jungle at all. You just go into the enemy jungler, fight him, and then yeah, flip the game basically.
Also a big Kiana enjoyer here.
Yeah, same.
So let's actually find out how these teams match it out on the Rift, as we won't even have long load times, guys. So everything we just talked about, we can instantly see. I see from Twitch chat that both of them didn't realize that it was going to. That is not a legal pick. So I mean, if there is no complaints about it, then that's all fine and dandy. We are gonna.
I mean, if admins cleared it and everything, then it's fine.
Yeah. Looking for the game to be
I mean, definitely something we need to watch out for in the other games. That there is some banned champion or disabled champions at the moment.
Yeah.
But I mean, here it's fine, I guess.
Well, we are gonna start game number 1 between Crown of the Ruined King on the blue side and Redemption on the red side here. Not too many surprising things here. I think the press attack on both the Lucian and the Urgot is very common, especially because people don't really like the Conqueror on the Urgot anymore. Echo comes out here with a Dark Harvest, which I think is it's between Dark Harvest and Electrocute, definitely. So it's fine to take the Dark Harvest here. I think the Electrocute is more common in the jungle. So
yeah, I think the Dark Harvest is just more of a you don't have a tanky support, so you have one more like that you can actually one shot. The Electrocute is obviously more like safe to go, since you have that you have to stack the Dark Harvest before it actually gets stronger. But I mean, it's fine.
Where do you expect these two junglers to be pathing towards?
I mean, I think bot lane. I think that's probably gonna be the volatile lane. Yeah. Maybe Jarvan will look to give a bit of a lead to the Urgot so he wins the matchup.
Yeah.
Since we stated this very volatile matchup. But I mean, definitely towards the bot lane. You both have a strong side bot lane with the Smurl and the Lucian Nami. As we do see both junglers starting on the top side, so they will meet on the bot scuttle.
Kiana taking W level 1 here. I think that there is a big debate going on between Kiana level 2 Q and W start. What do you think about that?
It's mainly based on matchup. I think in range matchups you should go Q, just so you won't get that you won't get poked out too hard walking up to minions. Like we do see here that
we do see a very early gank coming out from Shrek already here. That is going to be one of the substitutes. As I do believe that they actually name changed. So Darkshin is no longer with us, and instead we will be having Shrek, of course. Small mistake there on my end.
This is really rough for the Kiana. Like, you're already down so much HP, you lost your flash, you have no TP, and you're into a range matchup. I think the bot lane is going as I would expect it to go, that Lucian Nami has pushed because of the double range. So I think it will be a bit rough for the Echo to be on the bot side. I would have liked him to go for the top side, to be honest, since Jarvan is clearly gonna play for his bot side, and enemy bot lane will have push, mid lane will have push from the side of CRK. So.
Well, I did mention how aggressive they tend to be early on, and it might not be level 1, but level 2 is still an opportunity for the Ogre to find some early advantages. Already chunking out Honos here quite a bit, as Bloxer will go in, forces Broski's flash.
I don't think he had to
but
flash
he does lose the trade in the end. Interesting that he is so defensive, uncertain now, managing to find his way into the mid lane. Will land the stun as well. Now Broski is without flash. Red buff is already procced on him. He doesn't have any mana to proc his phase rush or anything, but there won't be any further aggression. So he does free up Sploxer a little bit from the pressure coming out from Broski, as there is going to be an engage here down towards the bot side, but Shrek is here to answer this. Brady does have to use his flash, as well as Ortega. We're both going to be flashless now, so a lot of summoners already burned here from the side of Redemption. Now our lunge is with the extremely early roam, Adam style, coming into this mid lane and finding that first blood here onto Splox. So fantastic roam after pushing out his top wave.
I mean, this is rough for Kiana. I'm pretty sure that this Kiana already lost lane now. From all the pressure she gained from the side of Jarvan and the Urgot. And the Urgot as being arranged, so he will get the push early. It is really good uses of his push.
Ooh, and this wave stay down towards bot lane is also not looking good here. Bubble also connects.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure they should be able to just push the bot lane out, as they are opting to fall back a bit. Maybe they're thinking Jarvan is still at the bot side.
I don't think they can just freely shove this out because of the danger of that Lucian Nami lane, especially in the early game. So this is looking really, really rough for the side of Redemption here.
I mean, it is slow pushing into them now, so it's not the worst.
Oh, Shrek is looking for those raptors, but Uncertain certainly has something to say about it. W does go wide because of the flash coming out from Shrek here, opting to stay a little bit more defensive. We do see that he's going to be pathing once again towards that mid lane. The flashless Kiana, the flashless Rise do ask for volatility in the bot lane, but it's going on all in the mid lane at the moment. So these teams are really trying to force the advantages for each other's mid laners.
Yeah, I mean, if this Echo gets to get the Kiana ahead, it will be massive, since the Kiana is a very scary champion once it's ahead. And I think Jarvan just want to shut down this Kiana.
Early CS lead also down towards the bot lane. As we did even see the cannon going stray. Sad to see always. See,
That's always a bit unlucky to see. You hate to see it.
Well, the dragon is not going to be prioritized, as Shrek is actually looking to reset. Even though his bot lane does have priority here, they are also opting for that reset, as they're currently finding themselves with enough gold for the mythic component. So that will be certainly very nice in the inventory here of just League things. He didn't even have to burn his potion in lane. That's massive.
Yeah. I mean, now we see the Mordekaiser being level 6. I think maybe here the lane takes a bit of a turn.
I think based on the CS advantage that we do see at the moment, I think this has certainly already happened, as both of them are now looking to solo kill each other. He doesn't have a great flash here, but Lunge's flash certainly gets him away from that Q. So he does win out that trade in the trade of ultimates and flashes. Honos, you mentioned he is going to find advantages in this lane now, as Uncertain is very low around this dragon. Spock's already having the ultimate, but now without mana. Shrek dropping as the first casualty of the fight, but Broski finds the return kill. Now he has just League Things from the side. Spock, so not having mana, getting the W over the wall, but still falling in the end. So a 3-for-1 trade here for the side of Crown of the Ruin King.
I mean, this is really huge, shutting down the dragon play.
Oh, and this bot wave.
Yeah. I mean, if they're just gonna hold... Oh, that was not that good, but I think it will... Nope, they're pushing. They don't want to deny minions.
No, they don't.
Maybe they're looking for dragon play once Jarvan is... I'm not sure why they're...
Well, Jarvan is up towards the top side as the moment, as I'm sure you've realized as well. Comfy also aggroing the dragon, interestingly enough. Tried to heal herself up, but the dragon was the target of that W bounce.
I think that was really weird that they didn't just get the slow push into themselves, and then they can thin out the wave a bit.
Broski is spotted on the ward down there, as it's nice to see a Mordekaiser actually landing some of these E's, as the CS advantage is actually getting closer and closer up towards the top side. As I say that there is a big mini wave here for Honos to pick up, so I tell a lie. Still, that's CS.
Is roaming.
He is once again, but he is going to be spotted out by Uncertain, as both of these junglers are finding themselves around the Scuttle Crab. Shrek already having level 6 here. Uncertain not quite so lucky yet. The ultimate will also connect from Lunge, and this will certainly be a kill here for the side of Lunge. Honos not having that Death Ram available. Now Shrek also looking to re-engage onto Honos here, as he is dropping lower and lower, having the W available at the last possible second, but will still inevitably fall to Shrek here. The level 6 advantage making a huge difference here for these two junglers.
What is Uncertain even building with that Codex?
Yeah.
Hourglass Rush?
We will have to find out what that will go into. It's certainly interesting. It does help him out at clearing some of the camps in the early game, right? The CDR is very nice, especially together with the AP. Could be a very specific Echo tech. Play a bit of Echo Jungle myself. I have not quite seen that start yet, but I'm always happy to learn something, as Flux actually loses out on the trade, but does gain the flash. So he will be happy about that. Does have himself the serrated Thurkira, which is 4 longswords in total, and then that extra bit of lethality. Certainly nice for the Kiana in the early stages, as that really can swing a matchup either way.
Yeah, I mean, Dirk is also just so broken at the moment. It's one of the best components in the game. So, I mean, and on an assassin, AD assassin, it's just really...
Ooh, very aggressive flash forward here from Brady, because Uncertain is now down towards the bot lane. Confi does have the flash and the ult available, so Brady looking to fall first in that fight. Ortega not finding any resets yet. Is close to his ultimate, but will die before he can actually get those proper rankings. And yeah, that's a 2-for-0 here in the mid lane. There is another engaged Broski and a lot of scrutiny, but so is Bloxo. Still finding the solo kill with that ignite here. That does go in their favor at least.
I mean, this bot turret is dead now.
Yeah, with the Herald placed down here, certainly looking that way.
Yeah, I think that maybe Nami and Jarvan should have went to the Dragon. Just let Lucian finish off this turret on his own. So Nami doesn't get to share the turret plate as well. But maybe the Dragon is a bit too much to on at the moment.
Well, Uncertain still having his ultimate available. Brady without his. As we do see another engagement up towards the top side. Death Realm coming out, but this Q is going wide here. Lunge now in a precarious situation, but right in front of his turret. Has his own ultimate available, but a solo kill and a shutdown here for Honos. They do secure themselves the dragon, of course, as the TPs weren't available for either top laner. But it's nice to see.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we talked about. This is a very volatile lane in the top lane.
I think volatile matchups across the board, no?
Yeah. I mean, in the mid lane as well, if Kiana can get these solo kills in, it will be really good. And in the top lane as well, and the bot lane as well.
Yeah.
Just overall, a really volatile draft.
Well, so far, we talked about how bloody we expect this game to be, and I set up how I think that Shrek's kind of differs from other junglers, which is that he plays for his laners. And I think that is so unbelievably evident with the kill participation of almost 90% here. I think that's somewhere in the upper 80 realm.
Yeah, it's about 84.
Yeah, true. Yeah, absolutely playing for his laners, and that is the expectation. We do see strong solo lanes obviously coming out from the side of Redemption, even though there is a substitute here. We do know that Spoxel is confident in some of these matchups, and also having picked himself a kill pressure in his lane, at least converting on that. So although there is a 4,000 gold lead at 12 minutes, a lot of gold here, they still are finding at least some advantages in these two solo lanes, and we're gonna have to see whether they can transition that.
Something I would have liked to see is that the Kiana going Ghost Split instead of instantly going Dusk Split. I think Ghost Split is just really broken at the moment. Yeah. Probably the most broken lethality item. So that is a bit of a bummer. I still don't know what this codex is gonna do for the Echo. Maybe it will work into Hourglass second item, but I mean, it's just way too early to buy at the moment.
Mm-hmm. But I think
I
it
mean,
might be for that early. You know how junglers used to build those early CDR boots, lucidity boots,
hmm,
for that cooldown reduction that does help them clear camps. I think that Echo is very dependent on his cooldowns. Obviously, the passive also making a huge difference, and that one isn't based on cooldown reduction, of course. But still, I think he might be looking for those cooldowns, as there's a lot of aggression here onto Uncertain. He does have his ultimate available, lands the stun for now, and gets out of the Cataclysm with that R, flashes over the wall as well. So nice little avoidance here. Sploxo is trying to find a counter kill, while Shrek is trying to get the first one in the first place. Q up in just a few seconds and does find it. Shrek once again with the proactivity going into the side of Uncertain's jungle, and now Sploxo also caught out here. Does have his R available, but will inevitably fall. Shrek will be a little bit sad that he doesn't get his high kill contribution at that, but still at 80%. Certainly making the difference and also setting up for that Kiana kill as well.
definitely. I mean, Shrek got an amazing performance in this Javan so far.
Yeah.
He's been all over the map.
We do see a good reason for why they first pick it, I think.
Definitely. Definitely. I mean, he's doing so much in this Javan. He's at every single play, he's there to give them the number advantage. A really good read on the map as well.
Yeah. Right place, right time.
Yeah. As we've seen from a lot of players so far in the SLE.
Also,
A lot of
Honos,
supports as well.
We have to say, Honos doing a good job up towards the top side, securing himself the 30 CS advantage. So the Mordekaiser blind pick not looking too bad, but there will be some scaling advantages for the side of Lunge, of course.
Yeah, I mean they will. But do you like that he will actually up into either Sunfire, the Frost thing, tank item? Probably one of those two items with the
I
Bomb
believe that
Center.
is very standard on the... I think I like it, yeah, especially in a losing matchup.
Yeah, I mean maybe you are. I mean, the thing is that if you wanna play the like tanky side of Urgot, then why don't you just pick a tank?
Well, this might be a comfort matchup, or for the later team fights as well, right? They are looking for this specific team fighting. They did get banned, like the Ornn was banned out, and I think that this is something that they might have been looking towards, and so this is a different kind of comfort pick here for the side of Lunge, who also, I mean, he's sitting at 2-1. He does have that extra assist that Honos does not necessarily have for himself. So playing together with Shrek has certainly also been a success story for him here, as maybe it is just the praises of Shrek that we have to sing so far this game.
I mean, definitely so far Shrek has like really made the decider in getting all of this early lead. I mean, they're sitting at a 5k goal lead, and I'd say that is all Shrek so far.
Oh, well, he is gonna go in here onto the side of Uncertain, who does have his ultimate available to stay alive for just a little bit longer. The TP coming out here from Honos. Not the worst TP in the world here. Actually coming in. Lunge not using his ultimate because the fight does seem to be going in favor of CRK anyway already. The Death Realm onto Lucian here, but he can't find the kill before the Death Realm ends. Now, Just League Things also using both the Summoners. Will pull back the Urgot, the Mordekaiser rather, into the Rel here to extend the team fight with the Realm Warp, or rather the TP. No, just the positioning from Ryze in general. They don't find the kills in the end, but the team fight does go in favor of the side of Crown of the Ruin King. Lunge TPing late into the fight.
Yeah, I mean, Shrek almost one-shot the Uncertain, which is a bit surprising.
Worrying,
but, I mean, I
to
guess
say the
he
least.
is yeah, I mean, I guess he is abusing the Bruise item, Gold Drinker, so...
Now here is a stun onto Uncertain, and he just falls under the turret because they're not quite stepping into that Z-Drive resonance. So
yeah,
they will just find that kill.
This is definitely looking very rough from the side of Redemption at the moment. As we do see Ryze TPing
Early
to the
pick of Echo not really working out, but the Jarvan has worked out so far. Also incredibly durable with the build that he's already secured for himself. Those plated steel caps making a huge difference. He can basically just go in.
Yeah, I mean, this is also what Jarvan wants. He wants to get ahead, so he can just go in and be that annoying frontline as he is.
Yeah.
And just stand and hit on your ADC, and then someone else will come and pick up the kill, or maybe he'll just finish it off.
So we do see very great play here for Jarvan. I think Jarvan also... I mean, you said that you don't necessarily like it as a first pick, but I think it sort of encapsulates a lot of what we wanted to see, right? We see big fighting coming out from Division 2, where it's like all about who wins in these trades, who wins early on in these lanes. And I think that the Jarvan is certainly a pick where we have to say, okay, this is a facilitator for the lanes, and it fits the identity of Shrek so perfectly. So I do really like that pick, as Blox is trying to go into just leak things, also popping down the Ignite, but does have the support of Comfy here. So Sploxo, though, at the worst end of that trade, now we do see an engagement up towards the top side. Ultimate coming out from both top laners here, but Honos does look to be winning the trade for the moment and finds another solo kill here for Honos. Certainly looking very comfortable on that Mordekaiser.
Yeah, I mean, Honos is definitely trying to get the lead so he can carry this game. I think it will be very hard, though, to carry since you do have a lot of CC.
And a 5k gold disadvantage as well.
Yeah, I mean, he needs to get through a lot of CC layering. You have to Rise route, and then coming into the Nami bubble, the Nami will hit the Jarvan knockup.
Well, if you just get fed enough, you can just look to Death Realm, the most fed person on the enemy team, or the important person in dragon fights, for example, where that would be the jungler.
Yeah,
as there is a bit of a setup here, a bit of a death bush even. Shrek placing down the Herald to try to force open this turret. With this 4-man squad coming out from CRK, they're certainly looking to take this down. Turret will inevitably fall here, whether the Herald charge does go off or not. They're now just gonna one-tap Uncertain, who cannot even ult in time, and they're looking to continue their aggression here, as Shrek is actually matching the level of Splock, so certainly very impressive performance here, even in terms of just keeping up with the jungle clear. Also ushering that Herald into the second turret, can't quite get that damage to kill it off. So that one also at very low HP. Meanwhile, on the bot side, Lunge and Ortega looking across each other. The Q lands. That is very dangerous for Ortega because the turret is not available. Uses the W very early on, but Lunge doesn't choose to throw out that ultimate. The flash was available for Ortega here.
I think this game is looking very rough from Redemption. Not really sure how they will get back into the game.
The solo laners, right? It has to come through the solo laners if there's any way at all. Brady now going in onto Comfrey, and here is one way that they can get back into it. Through picks, through finding people that are out of position, because that can happen sometimes, and Confu being on the worst end of that trade this time around. Yes, Echo does go for that Proto Belt first item, so I think the cooldown reduction was the reason to go for that.
Probably. Even though I don't like it at all, though. I think you don't really need it, to be honest. I think you should just work straight on your Proto Belt and then work towards your Hourglass.
It doesn't also match the Dark Harvest, right? Because going for that cooldown reduction certainly indicates that you're going for more of a consistent jungle clear, where you're just looking to farm your camps. And if you do have that Dark Harvest, just sort of indicating, okay, well, you are going to have gang setups, right? You're trying to look for fights, and Uncertain now caught out here by just Leak Things once again. The ultimate not in time, so just Leak Things just bursting him down. Brady also forced to flash here, does get away with his life. Dragon up in just a couple seconds. They clear the ward in the pit. Honos is here, does have the Death Realm available, but no jungler up for the side of Redemption. Are they really looking to contest this? They can at least force the 1v1 with the Death Realm, of course, as now Lunge is caught a little bit out of position here. Has to use the flash here. Kiana also coming out, stunning up Lunge, but the dragon is taken in the meantime. Lunge looking to at least save some time. They do get the dragon here. That is going to be the third dragon. They're now on the Inferno Soul point. Shrek looking for this fight, as Honos is trying to get that Death Realm down. Does Death Realm Shrek here, as he flashes over the wall. Flash afterwards from Honos. He does find the shutdown. That is going to be very important, but they do trade the kill back onto the Kiana here. They find another kill. I mentioned the solo laners. This is certainly a tremendous performance here from Honos, who did struggle in their first series, but looking very, very good here in game number 1, trying to at least gain his team some advantages, and even though they pick up the dragon, the gold lead has shrunken.
Yeah, I mean, the gold lead is, I'm not
Look
sure
where they're
how.
going.
Yeah, I mean, I was also gonna say this probably a Baron attempt. If they do get the Baron, I think maybe they have I'd say they have a chance in the game then.
Yeah,
If
I
they
think this
don't,
is looking better and better from the side of Redemption. Certainly willing to fight, willing to take the fight even in the face of defeat. And the two solo laners certainly being a big part of the responsibility here. If they can get Ortega into the later stages of the game, there can also be a team fight prowess because they do have wonderful setup with the rail, as they might be caught out after the wards from the Baron take here. They're trying to get away. Ryan Warp does come in, brings in the Rise, brings in the Jarvan. They're trying to catch these two members out here. Brady looking to R as Blocks also caught out by the flag and drag here. Has the ultimate available, tries to get onto the blast cone, doesn't actually use it to get away. Ortega also managing to find his way out here. Shrek looking for more and more aggression. They do lose one member, but that's just one member. They do now have tempo advantage here from the side of Crown of the Run King. Let's say what happens.
I mean, you're definitely looking at disadvantage from the side of Redemption, but now that they picked up this Baron and they got a bit more of a level lead, not lead, but they caught up in some levels. You just see the top lane being ahead, the mid lane being ahead in XP. It's mainly just the jungle being a bit behind. Actually, every
It's
single
not
lane
just a bit
except
behind. If we
yeah,
look, I think the bot lane also incredibly ahead. Yeah, 2,000 gold ahead for the side of Just League Things, who is, I mean, look
yeah. I
good,
mean,
but he's certainly been given some of the advantages that he has been finding. Right?
hmm.
The Shrek diff so far, Confi also looking very comfortable on Nami as well. And a good
I mean,
matchup, of course.
the side of Redemption is behind in gold, no doubts about that. But I mean, they do have the level leads. Like Honors is up 2 levels right now.
And
Flux is
2,000
up
gold as
maybe
well.
like yeah, and Flux is like up half a level probably. Tega's probably also up like half a level ish, maybe 3/4 of a level. Brady's pretty even, and Uncertain is probably down half a level. So the only thing that is like the big advantage is probably just the gold. But I mean, at this stage, I think a 4K gold in it definitely matters, but not as much as you probably think it would matter. Uh,
Well, it's not just 4K, it's also the 3 dragons, right? 2 of which are
yeah,
very impactful.
that is the main factor in the lead, that they do have the triple dragon, they do have a mountain dragon, which will give them like this burger will get more. Everyone will just get tankier in general. They have the infernal, they have the soul point coming up in 1.5 minutes.
Yeah, and does
I mean,
force that forces the hand of redemption, right?
hmm. But I mean, they do have good like river fight. They have the Echo W, they have the Kiana ulti, they have Mordecai who can just ulti anyone and most likely kill them. And then you have the Rill as well. We've seen Rill being really good around these dragons so far in the SLE. But it is a bit of a more of an open dragon pit since we do have the Infernal map. So that might also factor in when they
Well, the
do
thing about
fight in this.
Kiana is, right, you still get the stuns if you do R summon in river. Even though you might not knock them against the wall, if you just
Yeah,
get the R,
the
you at
knock
least
up.
get the stun. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, also like Samira's at 2 items now. She got the lot damage, so I love it.
Wonderful,
Yeah,
wonderful purchase here coming out from Ortega. I don't know if he's
yeah.
been listening to the cast, but this definitely looks
He
good.
probably
And
has.
also looking good onto Confi. A lot of aggression. Mordecai gets the pullback, and they just blow. What?
League Things also
League
died.
Things died!
He just got
Splux
one
with a
shot by
huge
Spluxo.
play here. Oh
I
my
mean, this is
goodness.
what we just talked about. The river control of this team is just insane. Hunters will back to try to save the T2 tower in the top lane.
Well, he won't
They'll
save it.
probably probably not, but he'll at least get some minions. They will get the tier 1 turret in the bot lane. They will get the dragon. This is looking like they could come back from this.
Certainly very exciting
Disadvantage.
redemption with a fighting spirit. I love to see it.
Yeah, I mean this tier 1 will fall now. Maybe Hunters will actually get onto. I mean, I doubt he will get onto that, but I mean
Nah.
the Rill and the Echo is moving up into the river, so maybe they'll try to look for a dive or some crazy shenanigans. I mean, I would have liked to just see him pick up the wave, the top wave. that is sitting around the tier 2 tower, the fallen tier 2 tower. And then just push out the wave. And then look for something else instead of chasing this Urgot around.
So the next Baron is up in a minute. Basically, all summoner spells will be available for that. Maybe some of the Ignites missing, maybe that heal. I think the Ignites might be up in time.
I think... Nah, I don't... I think the Ignites will be up after. We could be wrong, but we'll see it. I don't think that's 50 seconds.
Well,
I think half of it...
We can just check here. Yeah, it will be up a little bit after the spawn of the Baron itself, but still could be up in the fight around the Baron, right? Because Baron doesn't just die when it spawns.
yeah. That will probably be up for the fight. That will be.
Brady spawning out Shrek here, and flashes in very aggressive. He doesn't quite get the right connection on the W, and is now caught out here. Going in on rail, very easy. Going out, not so easy. And the only way out will be through the fountain. Very over-aggressive here from the side of Brady. Looking a little bit uncomfortable as Sploxo being aggressed on by Lunge. This is certainly the one-on-one that you do want to see, where Lunge can really look to punish the Kiana. Hono's also caught out here. Does have the ultimate available. Uses the Zhonya's, but is very low. Gets the R, but he just gets Urgot R. This is terrible here for the side of Redemption. Crown of the Rune King really grabbing control and hold of the game once again.
Yeah, I mean, now the Baron will turn into the favor of CRK. So they will probably... Maybe they'll get the T2 in the bot lane with this Baron, maybe even an inhib top. They'll probably get that as well. But it would be interesting to see what they will actually use this Baron for. Maybe it will even be the closeout game, like the Baron that they use to close out the game. They do have the Dragon Soul coming up in 2 minutes, so that's probably where the next fight will be.
Shrek going in on Uncertain has certainly looked good when he does so. This time around there won't be much more happening as he is very, very lonely up towards the top side.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you just work towards this tier 2 tower in the bot lane. You get the mid push, you just play a 1-4 lane with the Rise in the side lane. And the God in the mid lane. And then you just hover towards your bot lane as well.
Building Horizon focused. Echo is, as they do go on to Honos here, who does have the level 3 ultimate, so they are trying to find that kill. He does have the W to prevent the heat. Oh, but he just gets the kill! Are you kidding me? With the Mordekaiser passive. Holy moly.
Wow. I mean...
That was hilarious.
That's really unlucky from the side of that bot launch. But I mean, I think this is a good trade, to be honest. Yeah. You get the most fed member away from the side of Redemption, and you don't get your most fed member away from your team.
Yeah, I probably think one of the weaker members, in fact.
Yeah, I think that only Nami is weaker.
Well, he does have TP up and available, right? And the dragon is still 30 seconds, so he can probably even walk to the lane that he wants to go towards. His team might be calling him towards the dragon because they are trying to set up in the river, trying to clear some of the wards, and that has certainly been very impactful. The last time the dragon was attempted, as here comes the TP out from Rise, who won't Realm Warp the Urgot towards this fight. TP also coming out from Honos here, so Lunge will be a little bit late. But,
I honestly think that CRK should have just ran it down mid lane. They do have the Nash, they do have a wave. They could have just gotten the inhib. Like, the dragon is still not spawned yet. I don't know why they're doing this.
Well, in the 5v5s they have looked better so far, as Redemption is looking to go in. Brady whiffs on the engage, and now he's very caught out, just falls. And a 4-man Cataclysm to boot. Shrek is love, Shrek is life, and Shrek is the difference here. He is caught out in that death room. They do find at least a kill, and he just gets over in the wall. Honos, the last remaining member of Redemption here. Broski over the wall gets the root. This is the Q though. Lunge is trying to find that kill. They pick up the dragon, so they do the extra bit of damage. They have the Realm Warp. Not sure what that was, but that does certainly look to be the end of game number 1. At least 20 seconds until the first wave clearing member here.
Yeah.
Trying to look for this. Brady is up now. Doesn't have to flash. Does have his ultimate back up off cooldown already though. Uncertain. Still just 5 seconds away, but has not found basically anything. All he found this game was a single assist, and they're not looking for the end yet. They are respecting these cooldowns or
I
these
think they
death timers.
definitely could have ended since that the Honors isn't alive for another 20 seconds at that time.
They don't have maybe the ultimates that they want to fight, and maybe not the HP bars either, as this Baron is up in 2 minutes. So we'll see what they do with the Dragon Soul in the meantime.
Yeah, I mean, they're sitting at almost a 10k goal lead, so I think this game will slowly be closed out.
Did you see the amount of buffs on Lucian? He has red buff, he has Infernal Soul, blue buff. All he's missing is Baron. That would look so cool. I hope that he completes the...
and then he also needs the Elder buff.
Do you see that on the character?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you do. There's also a timer on it.
Okay.
So yeah. And then he also needs a pot. And a Nami. And then he got all the buffs. And a Javani.
Oh my god,
and then he got all the buffs in the game. I mean, I guess you could also say that an Ignite is kind of another thing. It definitely shows in your bar.
The word buff could certainly be used more in the D sense, but
yeah,
we all know that we
debuff.
don't put Ignite on D, we do put it on F. For
yeah,
fire.
For fire. Exactly. Yeah. I think they'll just wait out for the Nash perma push this wave, these mid waves in, and then...
Yeah, they're slowing down a lot. They're taking their time here. Honos is still level 16, Splocks also level 16 now.
This is a bit of a misstep. They should be getting the mid wave right now, and then moving into getting the prio. There's a term called the PvP, Prio Vision Prio, which is generally used around objectives. You get the mid prio, then you get the vision around the objective, and then you go back and get the mid prio, and then you go back to the objective.
They are grouping up as 5. Lunge does have his TP available. This time Brady's engage does connect. He thinks is very low, but he doesn't quite fall, so Brady will be the first casualty of the fight. Meanwhile, bot turret also going down. They trade 1 for 1 in terms of kills here, as they're looking for more. Broski getting 2 kills on the back end of that fight. Now Honus is trying to at least answer back onto Brewski here, as he does find that kill. I think
that you would have landed on the pig.
Look at where Honus is going here. He is going back to the base because Lunge is threatening the end here. Does have his ultimate available. Ortega trying to find a solo kill onto just leak things, but he's dancing and dashing around. And Honus still having his ultimate available, but so does Lunge. Last times around, Lunge has been unsuccessful, and this will be yet another. So the Death Realm buff won't go over to Honus, but he does find the kill in the end. Now just leak things pushing into the base with the help of Confi. The base turrets have both fallen here. Just leak things will be in a 2v2 against the top laner and the support here.
Go for the outplay, go for the outplay. I hope to see a Lucian Nami out. Nah, they're going for the safe option. I mean, it's also the smart option to go for the... just back off and then go for the Baron and then end with that.
Certainly respecting the stakes of this game, number 1.
Yeah, definitely.
Uncertain finally finding himself with some more assists, having at least somewhat of an impact up towards that topside fight, and it's good to see that he's he doesn't actually, he built an Etherwisp but completes it into a Zonius, by the way. He does not go for the Horizon focus, so that's good to see. Just strange item choices coming out from Echo, but I don't think that they have been the make or break of the Echo pick itself, as they're now starting up the Baron, and there's no one even close from the side of Redemption. This might be the actual nail in the coffin, as the Elder Dragon will just be...
Ooh, as we talked about, Lucian can get the Elder buff as well. So he can get all the buffs in the game.
Red buff up
I don't
in
think
50
they need
seconds, though.
Yeah, I mean, he could get the red buff, he would still have the Baron buff, he could get the Elder.
but they're not going for that. Instead, they're just looking to end the game. Oh my god, Realm Up coming out. The game is over.
Yeah,
game is
the game
over.
is over.
Game number
GG.
1 does go over to the side of Crown of the Ruined King. Nice little move here. They were certainly not anticipating that.
Definitely wasn't.
That was an entertaining
I
game
mean,
to say
they
the
also had
least.
to. They also had to flip it, so I'm not surprised that they try and go for something like this, since it is looking very doomed if you don't try and do something.
Yeah, yeah. I don't
Um,
mind the attempt. It's just funny that CRK
yeah,
went the exact
exactly.
opposite.
Yeah.
Well, that does conclude game number 1, as I said, but game number 2 is just moments away, and we can just go straight into the draft of game number 2 as well, because we do have that already and available, and we do see that they do pick up the Jarvan first pick here. How do you feel about that?
Oh, now it's Redemption that's going for the Jarvan. I mean, this is kind of like this is kind of like the last game as well, where you're just looking for this early game pressure jungler that can really fight out and really go fight in the early game.
Right, layout didn't transition. Whoopsie. Sorry guys for the wrong sides here.
Oh. Yep. I mean, this is fine. Not everything can go perfectly.
Well, we are going to hop right back into the draft here, right? They do pick up the Jarvan first pick. I think interesting. You said that you don't really like it, but these teams certainly do, and Shrek looked absolutely amazing. He's going to be answering with the Amumu, and this is going to be the first Amumu that I think I've seen Amumu in competitive at least once. Yeah. But it's certainly a rarity, has received that change on the queue. What do you think about it?
I honestly think that Amumu could maybe come in as a support pick now. I think that is a bit better than the Amumu jungle.
Really? I think you're trolling.
I don't think so. I think Amumu support is like low-key really strong.
Okay.
You have double stun. You have empowered damage from your allies on your passives.
But it's magic damage.
Yeah, but I mean, you'll obviously have some magic damage in your team. And if you pair it up with like a Kai'Sa, you get the passive proc on your Q from the Kai'Sa passive proc.
Maybe
you
get
the
enhanced ball lane or something. I could see it.
Yeah, or like a 6 or something like this. Just something that has some AP in the kit, magic damage in the kit. But I really think that Amumu support is strong. You have the big ultimate as well.
Right, he is gonna be jungle here, right? So.
Yeah. I mean, we can already see it's jungle.
And we see another Mordekaiser, by the way. I think the Mordekaiser looked very, very good, and they are going to be answering with Urgot once again later on the line down the draft. I think the Urgot was struggling into it at least.
I'd say it is struggling as well. It didn't look like a good matchup, but it could be like comfort pick that the launch just want to get this comfort Urgot pick. Even though it might not be the best matchup, but
And then once again we see a red team going for that Samira rail, instead swapping those two champions around. I think it has I think it's a good lane, right? I think that the Ashe is an interesting pick into it. I don't like Ashe into Samira at all.
No, I don't like it either. I think that's very troll.
But they're going to be pairing it with the Seraphine, so they have a lot of like priority. They can certainly try to keep that lane down on the low. Could also see the two players here between Brady and Ortega actually swapping their roles, and Ortega going onto that Seraphine support. Could be possibility. I'm not sure if that does end up happening. But yeah, they are going to then pick the Cassio into the Galio. How do you feel about that matchup?
I think it's if Cassio can survive the early game without getting gang, I think she'll just demolish the Galio. So that's probably one thing we need to look out for, the jungle 2v2, the jungle mid 2v2. But I think generally speaking, Cassio can stay very safe and just scale up for free. And I think Cassio is really good into enemy team. They're all really low range.
Yeah.
So and they all want to come
very
into
good into
Cassia as well.
Simira as well. Yeah, they're all coming into Cassiopeia. I think the Cassiopeia pick is pretty good here. Even the W, like if you find the Gallia trying to R somewhere, and like if you do find him, which isn't a common occurrence, but
you just W on top of that spot, and then he can't really move, and you can slowly move your way into range of him after his ulti drop down. Since you don't want to stay inside that range.
So while they don't necessarily favor the ball lane that Redemption has picked for themselves here, I could certainly see a lot of advantages around the other sides of the map. And I'm very curious as to what will go on inside the game itself.
The thing about Redemption's draft is that it's kind of like we've talked about before about some drafts. They're just not on the same page. I think that Jarvan is very split out from the rest of the team. Like you have Ashe, Cashew who wanna kite back.
I think Ashe Jarvan makes a lot of sense though.
I mean, yeah, you can definitely pick out people with it. Like just Ashe ulti and then the Jarvan comes on top. And you do also have like the Jarvan Cashew is also pretty good together. You do have 3 people from the side of CRK that can't really get out of the Jarvan ulti. In terms of the Urgot Galio and the Mumu, unless a Mumu lands a Q, of course, but can always be dodged. And then the Cashew W can just come on top of the Jarvan ulti, so they really can't get out.
But they have a lot of AoE ultimates on the side of CRK, right? Like they can basically all just press R in a team fight. Even the Galio, like in the middle of a team fight, if you get an Amumu ult off, you can just Galio ult on that. Like basically without any fear whatsoever. So yeah, I think let's just jump into the game. I'm so excited. The last game was very flippy. I mean, I say flippy, but I mean it in a loving way, in a way where it was just exciting to watch these two teams actually brawl and battle it out. Yeah, so let's just actually get into the game here. It's game number 2 between Redemption on the blue side and Crown of the Ruined King on the red side here. Amumu going for the Conqueror instead of the Aftershock.
I think that's actually really good.
I think so too.
I think it's way better than the Aftershock.
I'm not a fan of the Conqueror on Cassiopeia though, especially into Gallia. I think the phase rush is very, very valuable.
I think it's mainly just saying that the early game I'll have the rough lane, it's okay. But I mean, once the Conqueror come out in the later fights, you do have a lot of tanky, beefy members on the side of CK. So I definitely can see the Conqueror getting a lot of value in this game in the later team fights. But yeah, I mean, in the individual lane, I think phase rush is also a lot better.
Well, we do now also see that I was correct. Ortega is going to be swapping to that support position, and Brady is going to be taking up back the mantle of the AD carry. So that does sort of mitigate some of the swaps. We did see Ortega also stepping in for Flash Forces on that Seraphine once. Had a good early game, was a bit rougher in the later stages of the game. But I think that there was certainly some good things to be said about the Seraphine coming in from Ortega.
Something I really like seeing is that Galio opted into the
Predator.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think it's just so much better than the Aftershock or whatever you would go.
Yeah.
It just gives you so much gank pressure. Like if you just run down towards the bot lane and then you pop your Predator, you run with.
Look at this pathing coming out from Uncertain. It actually is going to be spotted by the ward, but he does clear the ward out. Now this leads to a very interesting dynamic, as we see that he does make his way to mid lane, but I think Broski must have been expecting that. He does flash away.
It definitely looked weird that he walked up to the wave after already spotting it.
I also didn't see any pings coming out. Now, obviously, not all teams communicate through pings, but I did not see any pings on the Jarvan. He does now ward that bottom side river bush for himself. Jarvan is going to start actually clearing, so nice little early advantage.
I mean, this is really huge getting the Galio flash this early into the game.
Whoa, and a huge trade. This is the oppression that we wanted to see coming up from this 2v2 lane.
Yeah, this is the early game of Ashe Seraphine. Like, you just have so much dominance. because you have so much
Going
range
in this
compared.
Brewski here, has he's still level 2 on the side of Sploxel. He does have his flash still. Oh my god, and he doesn't even flash. The last auto attack is enough for the solo kill first blood because of the level advantage here. You hate to see it.
That was really rough.
Lunge is getting spotted out here by Uncertain, as Honos is also moving down into the river here. This could look very bad for Lunge as he does flash away from the grass, but now he's without flash. And this means that Sploxel, as the last member to arrive to this play, instead of Shrek, Shrek is down here towards the bot side, does find a return cross-map kill. This is a very bloody start already, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is also what we expected from these two teams. Just going in there and really fighting this out.
But you have to say, it's great to see from Uncertain, especially finding those early kills is wonderful to see. Yes, he had a rough game number 1, but he's coming back here. He's trying to prove, okay, it was because of the matchup. I did struggle on that Echo specifically. Yeah. Now I have something to be more proactive. Forces the flash level 1, which led to his mid laner kind of dying. But not his, not on his cap, of course. But then he finds Lunge, just strong, walking into that river. As Sploxel's kind of losing these trades up against Brewski.
I mean, this is pretty standard laning. The Galio is very oppressive. I mean, shout out to all the Galio abusers, aka Jay.
And the
Galio is just
interestingly
really
enough, I think I've mentioned this before, but the regular mid laner for the side of Run of the Rune King is called King Daddy Sage, right? And that is actually a shout out to Jay, to Seiji. Because he has coached them in the past, where he is definitely friends with some of the members on this team. Obviously not part of the staff anymore. That's the commissioner of the league.
Yeah, I mean, Jay just too busy of a man probably to do all of this coaching. I mean, I do know he works on, he helps some of the teams with a bit of coaching here and there.
Yeah,
but, I mean,
giving him a little bit of a boost here.
Yeah. I think the first dragon is really gonna impact the game a lot since it is a mountain, and mountain is one of the most broken dragons, if not the most broken.
Look at the wave coming into top lane, and there's already a pretty big CS advantage for the side of Lunge very early into the game. Does miss those 2 minions because Honos is zoning him nicely, but those the rest of those caster minions are certainly going to go in favor. And Brewski actually finding his way up towards the top side with the Predator comes into lane very quickly, so Honos doesn't actually flash correctly. He does get a nice E as Uncertain is trying to make yet another cross map happen, just leak things. Does have his flash available. Confi going in aggressively to deter some of the aggression coming out from Uncertain here, and they do find that kill up towards the top side in the end. TP not available here for Sploxel, so Brewski will just TP back into his mid lane after having a nice roam here. Oh, the recall isn't quite interrupted.
I think he would have actually lost that because he's out of mana, and Sploxel is level 6. I think maybe it's in his favor to not hit that. But it was definitely close.
It was. Yeah, and he still doesn't have his flash here for the side of Brewski. Could have been an interesting trade to take from the side of Sploxel. It's also a CS advantage here from the side of Just Leave Things. Now both junglers towards that Scuttercrab. Sploxel is late to this after he just has come off his reset. They are going to attempt to, at least. Brewski still without his flash. Sploxel still having his. They're going to go on Shrek first, who still has his flash available. Does utilize it at the very end, but the last Jarvan Q does pick up that kill. So, yeah, it's going back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah, and hopefully now they'll do the dragon.
Yeah.
And, yeah, they are.
Mountain Dragon, huge objective here, of course, even though they are not going to build the most amount of resistances, since there are no full
tanks. But it just really helps out with the base stats that you have on the base resistances.
Yeah.
So it is really broken, in my opinion.
I know. And they do pick that up here for themselves. Definitely going to help him, as the CS gap has sort of diminished a little bit up towards the top. As I said, there's once again a very big mini wave here coming into Lunge. This time around, there's no turret to mess up his delicious CS. Already having himself the Tiamat as well.
Yeah, I mean, we'll probably see the same builds from both top laners in this matchup. Blunt's probably gonna go for this tanky build, and Hannes will go for this anti-tank build with the Riftmaker and the Demonic.
His jungler is as far away as can be, as he has made his way down towards the bot side once again. Still flash available here for Just League Things, as the Jarvan is going to go white on that combo. So Just League Things is certainly favoring that trade. Flashes forward even, and the last auto attack is enough to secure the kill in the 3v2. Flashes the mastery, of course, as is tradition, I guess. Now Shrek also down here. Doesn't have his flash, but does have his ult. So Confi flashing forward will get the pullback on the W. Ult also coming out from Shrek as they are trying to stun up the Seraphine, but it's just going back and forth. And now this mid lane looks very dangerous here for Brewski. A shutdown coming in. First block, so woo wee mama.
I mean, both junglers really just running it down on the bot lane. And I think that now that the Cashew got this lost chapter and it...
Oh, we do see the classic top lane trade, and who is gonna be advantaged here? Once again, it looks like Honos is finding the advantage. Waits out both ultimates as the minion auto attacks are chasing Lunge here. He's trying to TP away, but he's TPing outside of the bush, and the minions kill him. No!
Oh, that's really painful to watch. I mean, the past 2 minutes has really just been painful to watch. Both the junglers not having the best performance in the bot lane, and then
we will promise some excitement, and it is certainly exciting, right? These teams are really going head to head.
Is.
And
I mean, it's also dead even gold. I mean, now they just gotta dead even again. I mean, this is really lovely to watch, and I think the Cashew is as I was about to say before the top lane fight. I think now that the Cashew got the lost chapter, she really accelerated.
Shrek has something to say about that. Ult isn't available for anyone in this play other than Brewski here, so Flash will be enough to save Sploxo here.
I mean,
as
like,
a lot of damage traded back.
Almost got a kill in the 1v2.
That's a classic Cassio thing, right? I think Cassio is one of my most played mid laners as well. I certainly love that champion.
Yeah, I mean, there's also the rank 1 Cashew. You always see him go for that side lane and then just dragging 2 to 3 people and then try and outplay that. I mean, the Chinese super server Cashew.
Yeah, I mean, we do see that also coming out from European players like Sardok.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Sardok's just not really on the same level, but
I
mean, he is up there.
He's a good Cassio player, just a European variety, not quite the Chinese super server Kiana one-trick instant combo. As the ultimate is still not available here for... Oh my god, what am I watching down here? At least a very nice TP coming out from Honos, as they don't quite land the Seraphine R instead though. So Just League Things under a lot of scrutiny, and it will be traded onto Confi instead. Great TP. I think this is something that we have to mention. Honos has certainly been really good with these TPs, and they find kill after kill, and their triumph is enough to save his life. But here is Lunge with the counter TP, does find the R as well. So now it's just going back and forth once again.
I mean, it's just so bloody. I mean, this was a 5v3? Yeah, 5v3. And they got 3 kills out of it for 1. That's really, like, that's an amazing fight from the side of Redemption.
Yeah. You love to see it, right? Come bouncing back like this.
Yeah, you definitely do. And they do have the Mountain Dragon. The next dragon is in 30 seconds. It is an Infernal. So another really important dragon to like pick up in these early stages.
Oh, Brady, don't do this. This is... Oh, no, Brady! TP coming out here from Sploxo, as Just League Things does have his ultimate available and might have also doomed Sploxo here. He does still have his ult, and Uncertain is here to at least not let his mid laner die. But, oh, this is painful from Brady. Uncertain gets away!
Trick uses flash as well. Really good EQ flash Q thing.
A sigh of relief even coming out from me as the caster here has some nice mechanics, at least from Uncertain, demonstrating that he's also confident, or comfortable rather, on that Jarvan.
Yeah. I think it's really weird that the CRK hasn't started up the dragon yet, since they did get the pick on
Shrek
Brady.
is looking to flank here, and the Herald will be placed down by Uncertain. Neither Honos doesn't have his TP up, so they are just gonna go in. Shrek still not with the ultimate quite yet, as it's gonna be very bloody. Once again, they're already finding 2 kills here, trapped inside the Jarvan Cataclysm for the moment, and they won't be answered at all. So once again, the goal dead even, kills dead even.
Yeah, I mean, this is really a game that is going back and forth. Both teams just don't want to lose. They're doing everything they can to not lose.
Dragons also dead even.
Brady, never mind. I was about to say Brady might be called out, but he will just peace out of there.
What are the odds that Ortega steals this dragon?
0 to none.
Whoa.
You do have to have Mumu Smite, so I mean, there's just no way. Even though we have seen some miss smites, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched Sanix before.
Oh yeah, we saw a 6 ulti steal the dragon.
Yeah.
I don't remember in what game, but in one of the games where there was a 6. So, what's your general thoughts about the builds on the Ashe? Like, do you like this Kraken?
Yes. I think the side of CRK is so unbelievably and ungodly tanky that I think any form of true damage that you can get is very valuable.
Yeah.
Especially because the burst damage isn't really that high other than the combination of Amumu and Samira. And like, if you're gonna get bursted down, then the shield bow also won't save you.
Yeah, and you'll probably just miss position then.
Yeah.
I think the one thing that I don't like about all of the builds in this game right now is the Andres. I think that I've talked with various casual high elo players. They say at the moment Riftmaker is the best build.
Ooh, another 1v1 up towards Tata. These have been exciting, so I'm already rubbing my hands. W is too late, so Honos will fall here. The ultimate doesn't fear him, though, so Uncertain does find the return kill. At least this time around, we do see Honos making a little bit of a mistake.
1 second earlier, W, and he could have been in the winning position.
Come on, like 0.1
yeah.
seconds.
Yeah, it's a lot closer than 1 second, but yeah. I mean, just tiny bit faster, and then he could have maybe won the fight.
Uncertain won't quite land the exact buffering, but he does still get away because the flag has been placed.
Yeah. I mean, this is a bit unlucky. Invest the Galio ulti and the Predator. The Predator is not that unlucky, but I mean, the Galio ulti is a back factor. Yeah. So, a bit unlucky that you waste that.
Losing a bit of mid prio, which will now mean that Cassio finds herself in a very favorable lane state.
Yeah.
CS advantage this time around also in Lunge's favor, by the way.
Was it also in Lunge's favor in last game?
No. Very heavily in Honos' favor.
Yeah.
I think up to an 80 CS gap is what I ended up seeing, as it ended up being closer at the end of the game, since Lunge was spending a lot of time in those side lanes.
That was almost the Flame Horizon then.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we've only seen one Flame Horizon from when Senna was on the Vladimir against Sandet's Kassadin. There was definitely 100 CS plus gap there.
Wow. Honos just about missing on the E, but also good movement from Lunge as he gets hit by those 2 isolated Qs. Uncertain flashes forward, but trades the flash of Lunge here. Both of them
nice. Also just going wide.
Yeah, I like the idea.
I mean, yeah. I do as well.
But now it's down, right? This is very important. Now it isn't available, and Shrek has found his way down towards the bot line. Is currently sitting in that tribush, but does decide to back off and clear his blue buff for now, as Lunge doesn't get E'd back here. But Uncertain is still greedy for the kill here. Level 9 at the moment. Lunge already having that rank 2 ultimate would certainly be impactful. A lot of damage coming out from these Kraken auto attacks already from Brady.
Yeah, I mean, Kraken is also just really good if they don't stack a lot of HP, since the true damage will just burn
I think
through
it's
them.
good in basically any scenario. You always want those like if you could, you would always want the Kraken auto attacks. There are just games where you're not allowed to build Kraken, right? I think that is the main factor.
I'd agree.
Do you know that Kraken autos can proc on Samira R? Could proc on Samira R? I think they changed it.
Well, that's kind of like the Katarina ulti as well, right?
I think they changed it though.
Yeah, I don't think
now
it will
Galio
proc,
is here with the Predator. W going wide though. TP coming out from Sploxo and Honos. Honos will be interrupted here as now he has to take the 1v1 fight. Ults at the start of it. I do like to see this because this does make him a lot tankier. So he won't quite get Art so easily. Uncertain coming in here as Shrek's Q does go wide. Sploxo flashing forward with the ultimate but catching no one.
Yeah, I think this is a very overforced flash ulti.
Ooh, we have to look up towards the top side as well, though. While they're setting up for the dragon here. That bot launch still has that ult available. Does not fire it yet. Now he's firing at the W. Yes, he gets the kill once again. Are you kidding me? How do we see this twice in a row?
I mean, that
Shrek is going in here down towards the boss side, and he's trying to make the cross map happen. Already 2 kills falling in favor of the side of CRK here, and they do find a massive advantage in that dragon fight, although it does go over to Redemption.
I mean, the thing is, it's only an ocean dragon. Like so it is very, very worth. Like ocean alone, when it's not the soul, is just purely useless.
Yeah, but you are going closer and closer to the ocean soul.
Yeah, but then again, like you're only at second point. You still need like at least 10 more minutes before you have the soul. So yeah. I think it's definitely very worth from the side of CRK.
Of course, of course. I mean, usually you say Baron for 3 kills is makes even the Baron not worth it. So
yeah.
Massive props to Honos though. Once again, looking like the member to make all the difference here so far.
Yeah, I mean, Honos is looking very strong in both games.
Oh, also landing the pullback onto Lunge. That does mean that his jungler's E will go wide here as he flashes forward onto Lunge, gets the kill, and Cassiopeia finds a second of the fight as well. Now Confi also caught out, so 3 going in favor of Redemption. This could be Nash.
Go start the Nash. What are you guys doing? Well,
Brady is bot.
But you have Casio, you don't need Brady.
You have Casio and you have Mordekaiser.
Yeah.
They're starting it! It's
but
late.
Now it's late now, it's too late. You already wasted 10 seconds. If not 15.
Well, it is going down here rather quickly, of course, because of the Cassiopeia,
Maybe
right?
it's not too late.
Maybe it's not too late. The R gets blocked here by the Samira W, so that kill is found here. As Just League Things is trying to clean up the backside of the fight. Almost finds a second. Yes, he does indeed. Now dashing forward onto Cassiopeia, making all the difference. 1v5! He's finding 3 kills.
It's too late. Well, now... Actually, no, man.
Oh my god, that was
Baron, but
unbelievable.
I don't get how he got like a 1v5 off there and got 3 kills.
Oops.
I mean, I think that was really miscoordinated from the side of Redemption. I think they should have just all stayed in pit and then it would have been fine. As we do see Confi talking in Twitch chat that she called him a passive player.
No, I called him a passive player.
Oh. Oh yeah, I'm reading it way too wrong. I'm also a bit tired.
It's alright though. I mean,
yeah.
Certainly making a statement here. This is such a crazy game, and him just pulling that rabbit out of the hat is unbelievable, right?
Yeah, I mean, that would have been very bad if the side of Redemption got that Nash.
Oh, Sploxo caught up by the taunt here, and dead.
This could be a Nash. They could turn their attention towards Nash. They have amazing, like, what's it called when you're on Nash and you turn power?
Ability to turn, I don't know.
Yeah, they have great ability to turn in terms of their Momo ulti, the Galio ulti, the real and the Samura can obviously follow up as well. So
I guess
could
they
have
just
been
call
a
it
thing.
Baron turn, no?
Yeah, probably. Most likely,
Uncertain
yeah.
is going in here, but the Galliar is available.
Oh,
They
I think
are
he's
just
caught out.
catching him out here. Oh
An
no.
Ash now? Question mark?
This does
I
look
think
like
this
they
is
are
looking
going
for an
towards the
Ash
Nash,
angle
as
now.
Shrek is also making his way towards that Baron Nasher.
I mean, I think from the side of Redemption, you just give this one up. Get your mid wave, get your bot wave pushed out.
But what if your AD carry just gets a 1v5 triple kill, right?
Yeah,
Brewski actually at least trying to deter the aggression coming out. Oh, the Seraphine does hit 4, and they find the first kill. Now Confi also caught out. So, great ulti here by Ortega. This is what I mentioned. Even
this
though he
is a
does
dragon
struggle
for
at
them.
some points, some of the ultis are really, really clean. Pullback also interrupts the recall here from Shrek as he does step away from it.
I mean, now they will get the dragon. Now they will be on the soul punch. So in about 5.5 minute time, we'll probably see a massive fight if the game hasn't ended yet, which I doubt it will be. Since you do have amazing wave clear from the side of Redemption to stall out this Nash. So, and I don't think they're quite at the power yet from the side of CRK to actually end the game, even though they are in the lead.
Look how scared they were. They placed Sploxo on the side of the blue buff wall because they saw that just League Things was close. They were like, what if it happens again? What if it happens again?
And just League Things just picked up his Bloodthirster, so...
Oh, look at the item build, by the way. Oh.
Brady's also going low Dominix.
Let's go!
It's all fucking... Holy shit! I think they've been listening a bit to what we've been saying on the last couple of casts we've done together.
I think they get a little kiss on the forehead from you in this case.
Yeah, they definitely do. Oh, that is lovely to see.
Yeah,
I would have loved to see
looking very different even for Lunge, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Brady just barely gets away from that Q, but there's 4 players roaming down. 1v5 for Brady. Ortega trying to get close. Brady looking worse for where he does have to flash, gets away from the first bit, but will get caught out in the end here. TP coming in from Sploxo. TP coming later out from Honos, as the turret is being aggressed on Honos, going for the 1v5, but has the 1v1, of course, with the Death Ram. Going on to just League Things, who dashes through him, but the Qs and E's just keep landing for Honos. Yes, he will fall here, and the turret does as well, but I think you take that trade as Dadbot Lunge is not happy about that whatsoever, so he pulls him back and then flashes forward to transition the fear, but it won't quite lead to any more kills here. Brewski also TPing to that minion, is gonna get aggressed on, and Sploxo flashes forward for yet another kill. This is the craziest game.
I think Brewski might have misclicked there on his TP. He was like right behind them, but he TP'd. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think that was a misclick. I was thinking maybe he base TP'd, but he definitely didn't base TP.
He was like 400 HP when he came in.
He was right where Ash was, and then he TP'd to the minions in front of the turret. That was a very strange TP, but I mean, it do happen sometimes. That you
it does happen, and I think what we can look at is the end result, and I think that it is what we've been telling the story of the entire game. Instead of that, though, they have secured themselves a good chunk of a gold lead here. More than a little bit more than 2,000 gold ahead here for the side of CRK.
Yeah, I mean, 2,000 gold lead at this point of the game isn't really that much. I think it's mainly just about who can get the better team fights off at this stage.
For sure. I mean, we saw that last game with even bigger gold leads. And Honos, I mean, we haven't mentioned him a lot, and saw even some failures, but he's quietly really popping off here once again. Having 3 items completed, but having your least favorite item in the entire game. Your second least favorite item.
Yeah.
Oh, but Brady is caught once again.
That is not looking good. And we do see just League Things finally getting, or working his way towards that QSS. I'd assume it's not towards the Witch-End, at least. So, I mean, that is nice to see. Yeah. I think that
after last fight, I think, yeah, that is going to be a QSS here.
Yeah. And I think a lot of I think that the other people
Uncertain.
also get
Smites it, but now is kind of caught out here. But he does have the support of his team as they're walking over to control woods here from Crown of the Ruin King.
We do see Brokey talking in the Twitch chat that he thought his team would dive turret, so he wanted the move speed to catch up with. So that explains why he used the TP. I do see the thought process about that. You want to catch up with your
right?
team.
I don't think we see that ever. So I like the idea.
No.
I like the creativity behind that, even though it might have been a bit of an overforce. But it's just cool to see like players actually trying to go for something more creative, something unconventional, something that we end up questioning, but they were willing to make these plays. So
yeah. I mean, we do see the dragon coming up in 30 seconds. I'm not sure if Redemption will actually fight it.
It's Ocean Soul. I mean...
Yeah, the thing about it, I'm not really sure they can walk into it when the side of CRK has so much control over
they don't have
jungle.
any TPs either.
Yeah.
Oh, Brady this time around lives. Predator was popped, so he does ult and actually hits Shrek down towards the bottom side of the jungle. This dragon will certainly go in favor of CRK, but
yeah. I mean, this will
Redemption
give them more time
isn't
to
wasting their time, right? They're clearing wards, they're doing topside things, as Ortega is at least poking it. I saw him die here before in the Flash Forces game, in basically this exact position, so I hope that won't be a repeat. Doesn't have his flash available either. The only flash on the side of Redemption is currently with Uncertain.
Honestly, I think Crown of the Ruin King could just maybe turn on to the Baron. Yeah.
Well, this will be probably the deciding fight here as we do approach the Baron buff. Baron already started up, will tag up Confi with a couple of auto attacks. Bloxel finding just leak things, but not even throwing out a Q. Instead, just an auto attack. Uncertain already going in onto Confi here. Not necessarily the target that you're looking for. Shrek also landing a 2-man. Also Bloxel will fall as the first casualty of the fight. Now, just leak things already picking up 2 of these resets here as there's a double kill from Galio. Honos still alive. Does find 1 kill, but Brady and Honos are kiting back against 4 members. Heal is utilized for the movement speed here as they do get away for the moment. Honos at about 1.5k HP as the Baron is now turned on by the side of Crown of the Ruin King.
Yeah, I mean this is looking very rough now since they lost the Baron. They were way too split up for this fight. You had your Cashew and your Seraphine alone, and then the remainder of the team on the other side of the river.
Yeah.
So, very split up.
So even though they don't get the dragon, right, they try to set up for the Baron with vision control, but they don't set up as a team. They don't use their tempo advantages that they will have after that dragon fight. And they didn't have prio. They had vision control. And they didn't have the team setup. They weren't coordinated enough. Yes, Uncertain, Honos, and Brady were together. And that looked nice how they kited together as a team. Uncertain trying to force the engage as he saw his 2 members being aggressed on. But in
we
the
like
end,
the Cosmic Drive from Galio.
Yeah, for the movement speed. He's literally just looking to run in and taunt someone.
Yeah, that is true.
He's not looking for the most amount of damage or DPS that he can do. He does have other members of the team, and he does also have the Amumu to boost his damage artificially.
Yeah, I mean, Amumu passive and the Abyssal Mask will just enhance his damage a lot.
Yeah.
You do get like 15% from, I think, both of them. Not sure
Does
about
Wit's End deal magic damage, by the way?
I mean, it's on hit magic damage, I think.
Because it could be interesting if the Simia did end up going for the Wit's End, right? The QSS is now complete. Because then if you have the Amumu like boosting your magic damage, could be fun little interaction, or could be something to look for in other team comps where the AD carry does have a Wit's End. Like
yeah,
Ash.
it is magic damage, so we were correct on that.
Oh, Honos finding the pullback onto just leak things as the stun lands onto Lunge. This team fight looking pretty good to start off with Honos going golden at the moment, then using his R. He will have the pullback once again, getting yoinked back, but just leak things is just AoEing everything down, and Honos can't find the kill on the Death Realm. So it's triple kill already here, quadra kill. Are they looking for the second pentakill? They are going for the turret instead.
I mean, he can still get it. There's still a lot of times left to get the pentacle, since you do have that I think it's until one member uh, revives.
I think it's based on a timer.
Could be. But it's definitely a long
Are they
timer.
looking for it? Proto Belt here for the movement speed so that he can look to W in, but just tanks up the turret for the moment. Just Leak Things now going in, and does he get it?
No, he don't.
Okay, well this is going to be going over to the side of Crown of the Rune King, as I just noticed I didn't even have the proper scoreboard on. I'm sorry everyone, I do apologize. Been a bit chaotic with some of these replays, and especially chaotic in these games. Holy moly, these were bloody games, but these were good games. These were fun games.
I mean, this was definitely fun to watch. I love these bloody games where there's just a lot of fighting. I mean, amazing performance from CRK.
Yeah.
Just League Things doing an amazing performance on the Samira, really showing up.
Yeah, and I think game number 1, we certainly have to mention Shrek once again.
Yeah, Shrek definitely the decider in game 1.
Yeah.
Definitely MVP of that game. I think second game, just League Things. I mean, Brokey also did really, really well.
True.
So I think that's a bit more split. I think you just League games.
Yeah, but just League Things gets a quadra kill in that fight, gets a 1v5 triple kill.
Yeah.
A 1v5 triple kill. Are you kidding me? He, of course, he's the MVP.
I actually forgot about that for a second. That's just so much things happening.
Yeah. I mean, it is just League Things, right?
Really big shout out to Hunters, though. He really tried his best to carry both games. And he did really good in both games as well.
So, I mean, Redemption's certainly not without finding advantages, and I'm excited to see what they can do with their full roster. I mean, we said a lot of good things about Doa the last time that they did play. This time around, not with the A roster, not with the full lineup, but also not looking worse. I think they looked a lot better in this game. They had a lot more ideas. They looked a lot more clever, but CRK just overwhelming them, and big shout out to them. Yeah. I think that's going to be it for today. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Jonas, do you have any last words? Anything you want to say before we end week 2?
Just big shout out to Trek, big shout out to Just League Things, and big shout out to Hunters for trying his best.
Yeah.
And then thank you for the games, boys. It was nice to, and girls, of course.
And non-binary pals.
As well as that. Yeah, thank you for the games. It's nice casting you.
Yeah. Good night, everyone.
Always a pleasure.
See you in week 3. Bye-bye.